Yes.
I love how different every stone is. I've been noticing some of the cemeteries we've gone to this week are really, I guess, homogenous, for lack of a better word right now, but where all the stones are pretty much like the same height and made out of the same thing. And
Yeah, New Calvary is like that.
New Calvary is more like that, yeah.
Especially Fourth.
Yeah.
Because now they require you to get a tombstone.
Oh, really?
Because you see all these empty, unmarked graves.
Or
around
some
here.
that just have a marker, or...
Right, I mean, all this empty space is unmarked graves.
Oh, okay.
But
wow.
if you get to Mount Zion, where they've always required tombstones, it's like
so packed.
wall to
Mount
wall.
Zion.
Oh my gosh, it's the most
Yeah,
crowded
so
cemetery I've
crazy.
ever seen.
Yeah, it's beautiful though.
Yeah,
It really
it is. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
it really is. With the smokestacks there too.
Yeah.
There's something about like the quiet cemetery right next to the industry and how it's all like packed in there.
Yeah.
There's something cool. I said to Mike the other day, it's like where you should be buried if you loved being in a crowded nightclub or something.
Nice. I've been doing some research that is probably going to send me back out to Mount Zion again.
Yeah?
Have you been to Socrates Sculpture Park?
Yes.
The wall that surrounds it, that surrounds about a third of it, is made of tombstones.
Oh, really?
I hadn't noticed.
And the story handed down to me by a reliable source is that in the 1980s, St. Michael's Cemetery was just a disaster. It was a cemetery. You wouldn't even know it was a cemetery. It was so overgrown. So enter new management, and they they mow the lawn. They start taking care of the place. Then their first order of business is to knock over a whole bunch of tombstones. And they were within their right to do it because they claimed none of these survivors had been making perpetual care payments for generations.
Oh, wow.
So they knocked over the stones, threw 6 feet of dirt on top of the old burials, and planned to start selling new burials on top of the old ones.
Wow.
And then they took the stones, put them in a truck, and hauled them off to an illegal dumping ground that is now Socrates Sculpture Park.
Oh my gosh.
So when they broke ground on the park, they found this massive tombstones, and they built the wall out of them.
Wow.
And then there was word got out about the 6 feet of dirt thing, and community boards swooped in, and there was all this outrage, and they were never allowed to sell new burials on top of those old ones.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you go out to St. Michael's today, there is this conspicuously empty hill, sort of near the St. Joseph Mausoleum.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's really it, because I've been studying the markers at Socrates, and when you talked about style of stone, this is what made me think of it.
Yeah.
The style of what's at Socrates doesn't look anything like what you'd find at St. Michael's.
Oh, interesting.
Style, not even more importantly though, is the verbiage. Like it says lot, and St. Michael's doesn't have lots; it has plots.
Oh, interesting.
And then also the numbering on the stones. St. Michael's would never number a grave with like a 4-digit number. They do section, row, grave number or something like that.
Oh, wow.
So where did they come from? I mean, these are clearly from some cemetery, but and my money's on Mount Zion, but I don't know.
But you
Right.
don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
Interesting.
So
So you're
going to
go out
compare
there again
them.
and see if it.
Sometime soon, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been to St. Mike's a few times, enough to know that these stones almost certainly did not come from there.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's been the story handed down to me.
Is St. Michael's a Catholic cemetery?
It's non-denominational.
It's non-denominational?
Yeah.
Because Mount Zion seems like a Jewish cemetery.
Oh, it's totally
Yeah.
Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And are the markers at Socrates Jewish
There's
markers?
only one full name,
Oh, okay.
and it's not helpful. It's a very common name.
Okay.
Most of what you see are these square letters, which we should see some around at some point today. But just a square block with a letter on it, so the letter B.
Oh, okay.
And these things were placeholders
Oh, okay.
that would be, when there was a fresh burial on a new site, the tombstone virtually never gets placed on the day of the funeral.
Right.
So they would put the letter B next to the burial as just a placeholder to remind them exactly where to put the real stone.
Okay, I see.
So that's most of what you see at Socrates is those type of stones. But there is the word lot, and then there's one full name, and then there's a half of somebody's name.
Okay.
And it's interesting.
Oh, it's fascinating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I hope to hear what you find whenever it happens.
If I ever can.
As long as it
Yeah.
takes.
I mean, if I can't figure out what cemetery, my goal in this is to actually figure out whose stones were knocked down
Yeah.
and build some kind of, monument in their memory.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because it's not, why should some people's memory get wiped out and others
Right.
not?
Especially with this, I get it, the perpetual care thing, I get it, like legally, but I really don't get it.
Yeah.
As a human, like, there's still someone under there and they're dead. How are they supposed to pay for it? They're dead. Like,
Well,
I guess obviously the family's supposed to pay for it, but
yeah, they started getting
Seems like a
aggressive
lot.
about. They got pretty
Yeah.
aggressive about that. But that's the business of the
Yeah.
cemetery business. I mean,
Yeah.
it's what it is.
right.